up the arms and ammunition for their country. Yes, Samiksha.
Could someone also quickly tell us how are these trucks being checked as they pass through the Rafah border? Because very clearly Israel has maintained that while other essential items will be allowed to pass through, no fuel would be allowed when it comes to those essential items to be delivered. So any sort of security checks being done while these trucks are passing through the border area?
See, certainly, it is not that directly Israel is involved in checking these trucks, but yes, they are ensuring via their agencies that work on the other side that there is no supply of anything other than food and medicine, because any other supply other than food and medicine will certainly help the Hamas terrorists, and that is what the Israel is no mood to tackle. Israel has made it amply clear that we will not prevent anything from reaching the south of the Gaza River. Reason being that they want the humanitarian assistance to be given to the people, but they don't want any assistance to be given to the terrorists of Hamas, and that's why the decision was taken that
to the Hamas that will be prevented, and that has already been done earlier during the start of the war, when we saw how the trucks that were coming from the Gaza Strip, from the Egypt side,
or when we saw how the trucks that were coming from the Gaza Strip, from the Egypt side to the Gaza Strip, that were prevented, and the rocket was lobbed at the Rafah crossing that connects the Egypt side to the other side. That means on the other side, and you will find that some of the aircrafts also, they are moving in the area. That clearly shows that the preparations for the aerial recce. I'll request if Vijay Surendra Shah can come to this side and show you that the aerial recce, the aerial surveillance is being done by the aircrafts as well. So the aircrafts are also being flown in the area so as to ensure that every move of the enemy is tackled and tackled well within the time. So this is what the ground operations the Israel side is following to ensure that the check is placed on every movement that the Gaza side is doing here on the borders. Yes, Samiksha.
Yes, Gursimran, in fact, stay with us and show us around while the security checks are happening at this stage. Show us the level of security which has been heightened while these trucks pass through the Rafah border and reach the people living along the Gaza Strip and the epicenter of Gaza, of course.
See, Samiksha, the security has been heightened to a large extent. I'll request Vijay Surendra Shah to come this way so that we can show you that how the security is taking place. Once again, you will find that the I'm not very sure if Vijay Surendra Shah will be in position to show, but the aerial recce is also being done by the small aircraft. These are the UAV aircraft, the unarmed, the unmanned vehicles that are being used by the Israel side. So these are for the local recce that is being done by the Israel side, and in a couple of seconds from now, Vijay Surendra Shah will be in a position. Yes, he is showing you the visuals. These are the visuals of the aerial recce that is being done by the Israel side. So these are the exclusive visuals we are showing you from the ground zero in the Rafah, where the aerial recce with the UAVs being done by the Israel side. Earlier we have seen that some of the videos have emerged where the strict vigil was being kept on what is being done on the northern border. But from the south, for the first time, we are showing you the UAVs that are keeping a strict vigil. And each and every development that is taking place on the border area is not going unaccounted. Everything is being monitored. See, these are the test flights that the UAVs are taking here very close to the Rafah border. See, this is probably for the first time that we are showing you, any network is showing you the air power, the air surveillance that the Israel side is doing here on the ground zero, so as to ensure that any attempt from the adversary is foiled and foiled well within the time. So back to back the test flights are taking place of the UAVs here on the ground zero. This is being done to ensure that the crossing of the trucks can be manned, as you were asking earlier. So we now have a better idea that what the Israel side is doing. They are keeping the surveillance using the UAVs so that the near area, see, it is almost flying at a 10 to 15 meters distance. So these are the surveillance aircrafts that the Israel side is using, and these are going to be a game changer danger for these kind of operations, where you cannot be physically at any place, but when it comes to the aerial surveillance, you have a better edge, and that is what being done by the Israel side. I'll request Vijay Surendra Shah if he can come to this side, and once again we'll be showing you that how these kibbutz have been secured by the civilians. See, now the civilians are coming out, but the civilians have also taken up the arms and ammunition so as to ensure that the sovereignty and the integrity of the Israel, the state of Israel, remains intact. Also the CCTV cameras that have been put in place, these cameras especially, they have the direct now been connected to the IDF local units, and in case the access is required, because when you are to keep a strict vigil on the each and every development that is taking place in the border area, you have to ensure that you have all the resources at your disposal, and that is what the IDF has done. The IDF deployment here at the kibbutz along with the civilians gives an additional edge to what is happening on ground. Yes.